Welcome, the Ski Bum Podcast, and it is your pals Mario and Brian. Mario, what's up?
I'm loving life right now. Ski season's coming. I'm feeling that Christmassy kind of warm sensation. Love it. I love it.
Yeah, we just got on our last, probably last warm day here today. It was in the 70s, but it's going to drop like 25 degrees tonight. It's going to be cold. It's going to be like apple picking weather tomorrow. Like
apple picking.
It's you get highs in the 50s. Like you want to go pick some apples.
You're for going pumpkin picking for apple picking.
I'm going to get some wine saps, perhaps some Fuji's.
Damn. Look at that.
Oh,
no pumpkins? No pumpkins at all?
There may be a pumpkin or two.
I'm surprised I'm not drinking a pumpkin beer.
You know what? It's just, I was thinking about it today. I was considering it. Just, it hasn't had that drop yet. When the drop happens.
I had a pumpkin beer like 2 weeks ago at the beach. Didn't feel like pumpkin.
That's bizarre.
It was weird. It was, I could classify it as a gourd. That's it.
A gourd. We actually picked up pumpkins at Costco. Like that's like the most.
Yeah.
That's the most just like lazy thing you could possibly do. Like you're not going to even like a farm stand. You're going to Costco. You're getting your pumpkins.
Think about Costco. They had an opportunity to make it like, let's go on a hayride to like the TV section. Like they can make a whole thing of that.
They really should just eat, or even just put some hay on the side of the shopping carts in the fall.
you get a little pumpkin seasoning on a fucking breadstick, and you got like
the kids will be so fired up. Like, we're on a hayride today. Where'd you go? Costco.
Costco. Be like,
Costco hayride.
And you know what? Daddy got some bourbon too.
That's true.
Nothing sells fall like bourbon and a nice hayride, pumpkin picking. Like that's good.
Hayride through Costco.
Oh, yes. Like a tall boy of like Basil Hayden or something.
Perhaps. Well, we got a great interview this week. It is our pal Kimberley Kay. You may remember we chatted with her last winter. She has a book that came out about a year ago called
I got that book.
Ski A to Z. Oh. And since then, get it now. Kim has blown up. Her pictures are loved by everyone who sees it. Look at it. Mario's got it too. She's actually got some new things that are coming out, which we talked to her about on the interview section, which will be the main topic. So hopefully you check that out. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. We are on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Untapped, YouTube at Ski Bum Podcast. Go to your favorite podcasting apps, rate and subscribe. If you want to send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Reminder, if you are in the Boston area, we will be at the Snowbound Expo November 18th through 20th. Yes, sir.
You can see us live.
You can see us live. We're actually going to be hosting
the Snow Skills Cabin.
Yes. Which is going to be where all the cool kids are hanging out anyway. So we're going to be there.
Anybody's going to be there hanging out with us, putting out the vibe. Exactly.
There's going to be some legit people there. So we're going to be doing some intros, hanging out, giving stuff away maybe. I don't know.
If you're a stalker, like I don't have a stalker. Like I really want like a cool stalker, not a bad asshole stalker. I want like a stalker that's like, hey man, I got you some coffee, but I didn't spit in it, put any roofies in it. Just it's okay. You know, that's the kind of.
You mean fans?
Fans.
There you go. Stalker is kind of like the next level. You kind of want fans are good. Stalker is not so good.
Stalker is a good super fan. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know about that. But
a bad
Mario wants stalkers.
I don't know.
Brian wants no part of your stalkingness.
I don't really want. I want fans. I think we might have fans, but I don't know.
No, we got some fans, and
dudes with beards. I don't know.
Mostly, but that's cool. Like I like dudes with beards.
That's all right.
You know who doesn't, right?
If they drive a snowcat, I want to hang.
Hey man, it sure is cold in this snowcat.
Whoa.
Maybe we should cuddle up and stay warm.
I wish I could, but I got my nice, comfortable.
Look at the time. I'm going to go make a snowman.
I think I'm going to ski down from here. See you later. I got my snowblades, bro. I'm out.
Yes. So we will be at the Snowbound Expo. Hopefully you'll be around and check us out. And a big shout out and thank you to our sponsor, the Chuck Bucket. Hopefully you caught episode 288. We actually talked to the man himself, Charles McNall, who is the Chuck, who created the bucket, thus the Chuck Bucket.
Can you shorten that to Chuck It? To Chuck It?
Who can stop you?
The Chubucket? Chubucket. Like a Chewbacca.
This episode is brought to you by the Chuck Bucket, a brand new ski rack from a startup out of Salt Lake City, Utah. It's a trailer hitch rack that's designed to hold 8 pairs of skis or 4 plus snowboards. Simple to load for the whole family and easy for anyone to install and uninstall from the hitch. So check that out at thechuckbucket.com. For anyone who likes to shred in the off season, they also launched a bike rack that works with their modular ski rack platform. That is available for pre-order also at thechuckbucket.com. So you have the hitch. It comes up, has the main piece. That's where the bucket attaches and has the support strap. That the bucket comes off. You attach the bike rack. Boom, you're set. 12 months of the year. Bike season, ski season, whatever. The Chuck Bucket too. You can put other stuff in there as well. If you saw our Instagram post,
cooler, like
there's a picture of us in the Chuck Bucket.
Yeah,
we're just in there hanging out.
We call it the Us Bucket.
It's the Us Bucket. Uzbekistan? Uzbekistan.
It's a whole country based on the Chuck Bucket. It's the Us Bucket.
The Chuck Bucket really is only limited by your own imagination. So,
yeah, oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I was like, I could put fishing rods in there. I could put oars. I put a lot of stuff in there.
There should be
okay,
we're
Chuck
all
going
kayaking.
Challenge. I'll carry the oars. Just chuck them in the Chuck Bucket.
The Chuck Bucket Challenge.
It's just like 5 pairs of oars. That's what I do. I'm the oar guy.
Perhaps they should have a contest to see how many people you can fit in the Chuck Bucket.
Oh, now you're getting a little racist right there.
I don't know how.
People, I don't know.
I don't know how, but maybe.
I don't even want to say it. Just saying.
Yeah. Bunch of pirates with like peg legs. You like stick them all in there.
They got one leg.
They got the good leg hanging out and the peg
leg.
I'm
from Pirate City. That's what I'm saying. You got one leg.
That is a great marketing idea for Halloween. They should have a bunch of peg legs all in the Chuck Bucket. Put them all in there and drive around town. And everyone be like, "Yar,
matey."
Yeah, the Chuck Bucket.
Think about it this way: you could fit like maybe 3 people in there if they're really small, or if you're one leg in, you 6 people.
That's what I'm saying. One leg in.
Riding the Chuck Bucket.
Riding dirty in the Chuck Bucket.
Riding dirty.
So yes.
Hey, excuse me. This vehicle capacity is 8, and you got like 12 in the Chuck Bucket.
It's just like a bus in India, right?
Damn.
Hang out the side
on top of the roof.
Like wherever there's room, you can Chuck Bucket it.
You just yell bridge and people scramble.
So thank you, Chuck Bucket. Check it out, thechuckbucket.com. Mario, let's kick it off the way we always do.
It's time for Après Today.
Let me guess. You've had 1 or 2 apres already.
I've had a few apres and a few recreational / medicinal instances of something they made me make legal. Someday, somehow, some way. But actually, I went for beer. Let's say how it really played out. Came home, really hard day at work, really tough week at work. I just want to chill out. Had a nice interview this afternoon with Brian here. Hung out, like it was good. It was a good afternoon, followed by a get the weekend started. So got out of there and got some beers. So this is a brewery that I've liked for many years, but I haven't. I kind of go. I dabble in, dabble out. So Blue Point Brewing Company from Long Island, where I'm from.
Oh, nice.
And I got the Optical Illusion. So this is a good one. They've been producing for a few years. It's an American IPA. So it's not as super hoppy as most of the stuff that I get, because I'll get super hoppy stuff and it just kills my stomach sometimes. This is actually pretty drinkable. Yeah, good hops, good flavor, but not super hoppy. That's it. That's all I got.
Nice.
What do you got, Bri?
That works. Last week, so one of the cool things about go to Costco, I talk about Costco all the time. We always do. We love them.
It's hit or miss sometimes.
It's never a miss. It's you always get at least a foul. At least a foul tip.
Seltzers.
At least a foul tip. It's never a total whiff. It's at least a foul tip. So anyway, went to Costco. My wife made plans to go out to dinner with the neighbors. I'm like, okay, great. And it's so funny. There's a place by us. It's a sports bar that doesn't have a liquor license.
Bring your own sports bar?
Yes.
That's freaking awesome. That's called somebody's backyard.
Well, it's weird. But it's weird the first time you go there because you're like, hey, we're at a sports bar. Where's your drink menu? Yeah, we don't have a liquor license, but there's a liquor store across the street you can go to.
Boom. There you go.
So first time there, we're like, okay, this is weird. The food though is way better than it needs to be. Like it's surprisingly
they don't have
good.
a liquor license. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. So the food's actually quite good. The pizza is again better than it needs to be. It's not like the best pizza in the world, but we usually get the kids a pizza and we get real food. Very good stuff. So I knew we were going there for dinner that night. So I'm like, we're at Costco. Let's stop at Kane because the Kane Brewery is right there.
Smart move.
I got two kinds of beers. I got a normal beer for like the regular people, and I got a fancy weird IPA for myself. The other beer I'll probably drink on a future podcast because I have one left, and it was an Oktoberfest beer and it's very good.
Future podcast.
But for me, I got the Kane. Where's the front label?
There it is.
It's their Galaxy Punch.
Nice.
With guava and lactose.
Ooh.
Yes.
Because
lactosian.
This would not be good for you guys. They add lactose. How about that?
Extra. I mean, it's
extra.
I like the
super
lactose.
extra lactose.
Say? So it's brewed with Golden Promise,
right now.
oats, lactose, and kettle hopped with Galaxy, and conditioned on 1 pound per gallon of guava and dry hopped with more Galaxy hops.
Wow.
So yes, you got a lot of hops. It is hoppy, but it's not overly bitter.
Is that
definitely get a lot of fruit?
Is that legal?
Barely legal, baby, but it's very, very good. Again, you gotta like fruit. You gotta like lactose, which I like both of those things. Comes in at 7%, not too crazy. Very tasty. I'm a big fan of Kane's beers, and this one does not disappoint.
Nice. Still to this day, Cane Head High, one of the best beers out there.
And that's a good go-to.
Yeah, it's good, solid.
Yeah, so check it out. It is yummy. If you're in the Jersey area for some reason instead of skiing, make it happen.
Let's go to ski news.
Everyone's always looking at Colorado right now and wondering who's going to win the battle. Is it going to be A Basin? Is it going to be Wolf Creek? Perhaps Loveland will sneak in. But sort of an asterisk here. The first Northern Hemisphere, ski resort has opened. And it's our friends over in Finland. Yes. Finland.
Damn.
We're getting desperate. We just want to see snow. It is official. In Finland, Levi.
Northern Hemisphere, not America.
Northern Hemisphere. Yes. Levi, the nation's largest ski area, and Ruka, another one of the largest, both plan to open today because today's the 7th. We're recording it. It's probably come out on the 10th, but 7th. Open. First non-glacial resorts in the Northern Hemisphere to open. So in order to open early, the two resorts use snow farming, saving piles of snow collected last spring under insulating covers.
Nice.
This process protects the snow from the summer heat and slows the melting. Once October hits, the resorts spread what is left back onto the slopes as temperatures start to drop. Nice. Cooler temperatures combined with snow farming and an early start to winter, given Finland's position in the northern reaches of the globe.
Boom.
So beautiful thing. I know Colorado, they were starting to make snow and then it warmed up. Copper was making snow. Things are sort of touch and go at the moment. But again, it's the first week in October. We will be there soon. Can't wait to start seeing all those lovely snowmaking videos and people getting their first runs of the season, which should be happening any week now.
Oh, yeah.
So
we talked about like something like this a while ago, and they didn't call it snow farming. They were calling about something else, but it was the whole idea. They were putting tarps over, and they were doing it in Europe. But yeah, I gotta believe that this is getting traction. Because if you think about it, like if you keep everything cold and compacted, and you might be able to save a lot of snow.
Yeah, I think that was out in was it Switzerland or Austria? Maybe.
Yeah, somewhere in Europe.
They were just covering the whole mountain.
Right. So leaving it in place, just covering it. I'm like, that's not a bad idea, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to find
no shortage of plastic, right?
Yeah. I don't know what they use, if it was plastic or some sort of like reflective metal. It was something weird though. It was like a metallic sheet.
Yeah, some special whatever thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
All right, next up we got Icon Pass holders will get a court-ordered compensation for pandemic ski resort closures. So this was a huge controversy way back when, and skiers and snowboarders who had the Icon Pass when the ski industry was shut down by the pandemic are receiving compensation offers after the resolution of a class action lawsuit. So emails went out this week. So those who lost a chunk of money, Governor Jared Pohl shut down the Colorado ski industry on March 15th due to COVID. In August, Denver-based Altera Mountain agreed to pay more than $17 million in past credits as a settlement of the lawsuit. But a third party based in Philadelphia, of course, Aegean Group, is managing the distribution of the settlement. And they're saying the amount of credit available to pass holders would depend on how much they use their season pass during that 2019 through 2020 season. And those who skied on their Icon Pass only once that season will be entitled to $150 credit. So those who skied twice will receive $125 and then so on. I don't know. People should look out. I don't know if you had to register for the class action before now, or they're going off of Icon Pass holders that were on register. So if you change phone numbers and you change locations, then you're going to get an email 10 years from now saying somebody owes you money that was sitting there.
Yeah, that's a pretty big chunk of money they're putting together at $17 million to pay for the settlement. I guess part of the thing you're thinking about, because if these people are going to buy another Icon Pass, most likely, so they're just going to like jack the price up of the passes to pretty much get the money back from the people who they're giving the money to right now.
But think of the suit. It's only a portion of all the Icon Pass holders, and it's based on how much you use the pass that season. Between that and the number of people they're never going to get in touch with, it's probably more profitable for them to not have done what they should have done and just say, we'll wait for the lawsuit.
Yeah, no, it's one of those like moves, it's a gesture move where
exactly
what's $17 million to an Altera?
Nothing.
It really is. It's a drop in the bucket, and it makes them look better for doing that.
But think about it. A few years ago, how much was an Icon Pass? Like $350, $400?
I don't think they were that cheap at all. I mean, there may be some level that's that cheap, but if you got the top of the line Icon, I think it was like over $1,000.
Right. So this class action is settling. They're not paying you equal compensation. You spent and didn't get to use a $400 pass, you get $150 back. Just saying, right?
Yeah. But to you, it's lost money already because you paid for that 3 years ago. So you'll get your money back for your Icon Pass then. You might get a few bucks back.
A few bucks.
Yeah. But interesting that they're finally doing this, and that, again, for those who it's almost like finding money in like a pants pocket you haven't worn in 3 years. That's what it's kind of like. Like, say the last time you went to the office was March of 2020, and you finally got those pants out and you put your hands there, you're like, oh look, $20. That's what it's kind of like. Like 3 years ago, you bought this pass, you skied for a few days, you forgot about it because life got super crazy with the pandemic, and now you're putting those pants back on. Boom, $20.
Boom.
So
I like that.
Big win to those Icon Pass holders.
What we got now? $50.
Yeah.
$20.
Now here's another story about loss, perhaps. If you're on Team Gondola, this is a big loss. Salt Lake County and city councils reject the Little Cottonwood proposal.
Why?
We're getting
why is everybody so against gondola? Is there big road fighting big gondola? Because that's bullshit.
Big train is fighting big gondola. So through a joint resolution with Salt Lake County Mayor Jenny Wilson, county council members voted 5-4 to remove the project from the Utah Department of Transportation's consideration.
One swing vote. You couldn't get one swing vote? I wonder who voted against it. I want those people put on blast. That's bullshit.
Salt Lake City Council also unanimously voted to condemn it through a joint resolution with Mayor Aaron Mendenhall. Though not enforceable, the resolution signals strong local opposition to the project. The proposed $550 million gondola is UDOT's preferred choice to reduce cars on a heavily trafficked road used to travel to snowbird and Alta ski resorts.
The
proposal
you know what they're gonna reduce also a lot of people going to that area.
Well, I mean, let's see. The proposal also includes the construction of a base station near the mouth of the canyon that will include 2,500 parking spaces. Other alternatives listed in a UDOT analysis include enhanced bus service and a $1 billion cog railway, railroads used to travel steep slopes.
So the gondola is not going to be run by the Department of Transportation, was it?
That I do not know.
Bam.
I don't know if that was like a private company that was running it, or if it actually runs through the transportation.
Bam. That's right. Taking away union jobs.
Yeah. The proposal has received mounting scrutiny from the city and local governments and conservationists for its cost and environmental impact. Instead of the gondola, the city or county council's resolution included adding electric buses with mobility hubs, tolls, and incentives for carpoolers as alternative solutions. In a statement, County Council member Jim Bradley said taxpayers shouldn't foot the bill for a permanent and risky project like this. When we could invest in common sense solutions like electric buses that can also be used to benefit transportation issues across Salt Lake Valley. UDOT spokesperson John Gleason invited the public to submit comments on the proposal through October 17th.
So there's been a lot of talk, like even locally to me here, about putting up a gondola, going out to the beach and everything like that. And my feeling on that is it's not just a way to get from point A to point B. It's a way to get from point A to point B that people want to do and then will go out of their way to do. So it's kind of like you got to realize the bump you'll get outside of just the efficiency of doing what that does.
Well, it's an attraction in its own right. If you have a gondola with scenic views. But I mean, you got to look at the current climate right now of how people are looking at anything environmental. And you kind of referenced our conversation we had earlier. We had a great interview which is going to come out the following week.
Oh yeah.
And we look at things from our lens. But sometimes it's good if we look at the opposite side of this too, because a lot of people, it's like a knee-jerk reaction.
Devil's advocate all the time.
Absolutely, you got to do the counter argument and see does your argument stand up to that counter argument, or are you just kind of choosing a narrative and regurgitating information you don't quite understand?
Yeah,
I see where they're coming from regarding this. I mean, think about how many stations you'd have to put in for this gondola to exist.
Quite a bit.
It's a pretty big infrastructure project to do that. And I see the whole bus thing, because the buses, you can use them during peak times, and you can also reroute them, put them somewhere else if you need to. I honestly just love the idea of a goddamn gondola being in Little Cottonwood. That's my dummy argument. Like, I would love to see it. It seems like it would be, because anything that's not on the road seems like it would benefit the road.
So right? I love the fact of public transportation. So I'm a big pro bus, pro public transportation, but I love gondolas. And while I love gondolas, I'm fucking terrified because I don't like heights. So I get in a gondola and I'm like, oh, this is great, blah, blah, blah. Don't look down, whatever. But now I think about gondola or a lot of buses, and I think about the buses sliding off the road and fucking crashing. And I think about a gondola, a lot better chance of you getting up on the hill with a gondola. Just saying.
Yeah. It's such a.
I go back and forth.
I mean, again, if there's no money, like if money is no object and the environment was no object, like, dude, gondolas, 100%, throw them in there.
Well, here's the thing: is it a problem because Department of Transportation, and we've seen this up north, because big transportation is against anybody else that is going to, get into their space. And if it was a Department of Transportation initiative, they'd be like, oh yeah, this is going to happen, and we're going to charge you extra money in your fucking rates for everything we charge you. We've seen that up north, but now they're coming to a vote, and they're like being very frugal with it, which is good. I just don't know who's on what side.
Yeah.
Just don't know.
Yeah, and who is running it? Is it going to be the Department of Transportation? Is it going to be an outside company?
I wish it was me. If it was me, I would be like, you got to be pro gondola.
And if it was you, you'd start paying people off to make sure that this did pass, right?
Shit, yeah.
Because isn't that exactly how the world works?
There would be no end of like bakery boxes.
Excuse me, is that your bag that you just dropped? I didn't drop a bag. Are you sure you didn't drop a
Louis Vuitton bag with the cash, like breaking out of the top of it?
Are you absolutely positive you didn't drop that bag of cash?
Positive. That's yes. That's my bag. Thank you for finding it. Yeah.
So you might want to just say yes to that gondola.
He said a gondola. That's right.
And there's a picture of your children in there going to school. So
we've seen enough mafia movies to know how that ends up.
I believe you will be voting yes to the gondola.
Yeah, well, as Batman, I'd say you're going to take that bag of cash and just, you're going to vote yes.
Yeah. This process, they started doing this. The study process and timeline, public scoping started April 10th, 2018.
2018?
2018. They did a draft. They did a draft.
That's going to go on. Like, who are they paying? Who's getting paid?
Well, they talk about this plan, and I don't know if the dollars figures they were coming up with were part of the 2018 timeline or if it was later on, because I can already assure you if it was 550 in 2018, it's already 750 now.
Oh, they're paying a consulting firm the entire time. And like, yeah, we're going to study this. And the money they spent in the consulting firm is probably a few billion, just getting crazy.
It might get a little nutty. So this has been going on for 4 years now. And I wonder, will anything ever happen? It seems like this is one of those things that just...
You make a decision? Not for 4 years, no.
Just drag on and on. Get Mitt Romney to make a decision. Isn't he like the king of Utah?
You've had many chances for change in that 4 years, and you can't get a decision, yeah or nay?
No.
Very strange.
Hyperloops, is that a possibility now? There's new technology.
Might as well shoot yourself up to Mars at this point.
What about digging a subway into the canyon, into the actual mountain?
That's witchcraft right there.
Pneumatic tube, you could have been drilling for years now. Drill, baby, drill, right?
Boring company would have helped you out.
See?
Would have helped you out.
Elon's got multiple solutions.
Yeah.
Hyperloop, Boring Company, it's already done. You're already at Alta. Boom. Yeah. Hopefully one day they'll have something figured out. But not today, not tomorrow, not this season, not next season. Eventually, they will have a resolution. Because even a train, putting in a cog train, that's not a simple project either.
No.
What would
Why not put on a Hyperloop cog train?
Yeah. Because, I guess you could disassemble the train tracks afterwards, but wouldn't you have to expand the canyon to put in the track next to the road that's there? The gondola, at least being on top, would be above. It can't be above the road, but to the side. It seems like maybe that's less infrastructure than an actual train track.
Hey, I don't know. We were in Zermatt with the cog train, and it was pretty fucking awesome. I gotta say, it was
awesome, but it was also slapped right on the mountain. It wasn't like they had to deal with a canyon and
that's true.
And probably blowing out, part of that mountain in order to make room for the track.
And it was Swiss, so they're like, we know how to get this right there. They know
super
how to
efficient.
That's what the super Swiss efficient. Do. It was on time, every time.
Very on time. That was a cool train, though.
That was awesome. Yeah. The Gornagrat or something like that.
The Gornagrat, yep.
Gornagrat.
Yeah, the Gornagrat train. So we'll see what happens in Utah. We're keeping tabs on this. Eventually, maybe it'll be done, and so will the One Wasatch project. But
I think Utah is coming up big in the next, I gotta say, 3 years. It's gonna be all big Utah again.
Utah's.
If I'm a betting man, I went to Ogden last year. I saw what's going on.
Utah is the future.
I'm betting the man. I'm going all in. Not now. In 2 years.
Big
All in.
Utah.
All in big Utah.
Big Utah.
Big Ute.
Well, that wraps up the ski news for the week. So we're going to jump into our main topic. And we teased it a little bit earlier.
Love this book.
Yes. We had the pleasure of speaking to our friend Kimberley Kay Robinson. She is the author of Ski A to Z, or Ski A to Z if you are in the UK, as she is.
A to Z.
And if you are in the UK, make sure you are.
Oh wait, there's a picture of her.
You have your tickets, and you are going to the National Snow Show in Birmingham, October.
You might be there next year. That's right.
You never know. October 15 through 16. She will be there. She will be one of the speakers there on the stage, along with Eddie, the Eagle Edwards, the famous ski jumper.
Damn it, Eddie.
From the UK.
I want an autograph from Eddie.
He is a skiing superhero over there. So we had a great conversation with Kim. Like I said, she has the book out. It's been out for almost a year now. She is doing prints. She's doing cards. She's doing fabrics. And we kind of threw that out there when we had the conversation with her.
This is what you got to do.
This is what this podcast is. It's sort of a think tank.
I want fabrics or a shirt. We want a shirt.
She has it all. I want to get like a blazer made up for the Snowbound Expo.
I got somebody that can make a blazer. I need the material. That's what I'm saying.
I got a blazer guy. We could order it from Kim.
Yeah.
Because
we got a blazer guy. The
material is actually made in the US. It's actually printed.
Saturday night suit.
Leisure suit?
Yeah.
The fabrics are actually printed in the US here. It's pretty cool. So it is available if you go to her website, inspirebykim.com. Boom. It was an awesome chat. Check her out. You love her. We love her. Here's Kimberley Kay. This week, we have another special guest. She is a repeat guest. She was one of our favorite guests from last year. She's got some big news. We have this cool connection now that we're going to talk about in a little bit. So, Kimberley Kay Robinson, inspirebykim.com. Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you. It's fabulous to be here. We had such a fun time last time. It kind of turned into a bit of a brainstorm. So it's quite exciting to be back and to be able to talk about kind of where those ideas have gone in the meantime. So yeah, thank you for having me back.
Oh, absolute pleasure. Yeah, we did. It was kind of a fun, bizarre brainstorm that it kind of evolved into last time. And hey, hopefully, it seems like a little bit of those little magical nuggets did kind of inspire you. You're usually the one doing inspirations to do on some new pieces and to continue your work, which is pretty awesome. So we're happy to hear that. So let's kick this off with the for those who maybe aren't following you, those who are following you already know, you got a big date coming up at the National Snow Show this month.
Yes, absolutely. So 15th and 16th of September, I'm going to be in Birmingham, which is in the Midlands in the UK. And they're at the National Snow Show, going to have a stand. I'm going to be speaking and sharing knowledge and wisdom for people that are new to skiing. So yeah, it's really exciting. It's just all sort of taken off.
Yeah, and how long ago did they approach you regarding this National Snow Show?
It's probably kind of sort of about 3 months now. So they'd seen my book, Ski A to Z, which was published. Yep, that's the one.
There it is.
Yeah. So it was published in back end of last year, start of this year. And so they got in touch and said, we're wanting to provide advice and information for people that are new to skiing. And so they said, will you come and speak at the show? So I'm excited to be doing that. So I have, when we were kids, we used to do ski demos at the ski shows. So it's something that I've kind of been in that environment a lot, kind of, sort of over the years. So yeah, it's been great to be actually speaking at one of the shows. And I've also taken a stand so that I can chat to people, sign books, sell art
prints. Leave a little merch.
Yep, art prints, greeting cards. And so kind of bringing some of the illustrations from the book and making those available to be able to put on the wall to send as greeting cards. And and it's proven really popular. I've done a couple of events, book signing and like fairs. I did one yesterday actually at a snow slope, at a dry ski slope, and people were trying skiing for the first time.
Oh wow!
And yeah, so it was really interesting. It was quite special to be there when there's probably about over 100 people tried the sport for the first time, and some were children, you know, and some of the parents were like, we want to get into this. How do we do it? And so the book's ideal because it dispels kind of myths, and it just kind of gives people the information to help them to feel confident that they know kind of what to expect, and you know, and what they need to know about what to wear and where to stay, and all that kind of stuff around the actual skiing and instruction. So
when you first had the idea for this book, did you expect it to kind of take on that role, to almost be like for new skiers or boarders, like an intro guide, like to kind of help them get through the process?
Yeah, I think it was. I wanted to make it accessible for people. I wanted, you know, it's like kind of, there are barriers, there's financial barriers for people to ski. Obviously geographical, if they're not near either a facility or near the mountains. But I didn't want information to be what was stopping people being able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fabulous sport, and I think if people haven't skied, they can have a very different perception of what actually it's about, and by kind of providing information and making it more possible for people to try, then they can actually have the experiences which we that are skiers and you know and the snow sports lovers, we know how fabulous it is, and so just being able to share that and make it more accessible and just making it more available to people, it feels only fair, really. It feels the right thing to do. But yeah, I mean, it's just wonderful how it's taken off, and seeing the response face to face, because obviously the book's available online, people can buy it there, they can view it as an ebook, but when I'm actually there and people are looking through it and I see their reactions, you know, it's really quite special, and it's quite inspiring, and it helps to motivate me to kind of go forwards then.
Yeah, and I think you're spot on there, because anyone can go onto, you know, Amazon or, you know, your site and just see the picture of the cover and be like, oh, that's a really cool looking book. But to actually have it in your hand and to look at the illustrations, like that's where it really has all its power. So I can imagine in an event where you're in person and people can take a look at the book and flip through it and see the pictures and be like, oh, that's really cool. Like that's got to be just a huge sales point for you, just having people see it and look at it up close, and want to have it and own it at that point.
Yeah, and the thing is, anyway, it's like talking to people, and then, you know, I was at a dry slope, like I say, yesterday, so I'm like, oh, you know, this is a picture of a dry slope, you know, this is the dry slope where I skied most, and you know, and then like my husband's there, and I'm like, you know, and someone's talking to him, and I'm like, oh, he's in the book, look, he's there carrying his skis, you know, and then my brother,
he's a model.
Yeah, my brother.
My husband was a model.
Yeah, my brother came along, and I'm like, yeah, he's there. He's on the Joy page, and that's my dad, and you know, and so it's like, and the experiences are all in there, like heli skiing, and you know, and so it's like I met someone last week, and they were saying it's like you know, kind of woven into it are like kind of all these sort of life experiences and stories, and so yeah, but it's just wonderful to see people's reactions, because people kind of, they pick it up and they're like, oh, this is really good, and it's like, yeah.
Not only does it look really good, there's also a lot of really good information in there too.
Yeah,
which is what makes it really fun.
And it's not, you know, I'm quite like to be quite sort of economical on I don't like to read like, you know, lengths of things, so I've just got straight to the point with the tips. Yeah. You know, it's meant to be, it's not wasting your time, it's just telling you the stuff that'll really help and benefit you. So
now I just thought about this now. Would you ever consider doing like a coffee table size edition of this book?
What you mean, like double?
Yeah, you know, like I got one over here. You know, more like something like this size.
Ooh, I tell you what I was thinking would be nice in like a leather embossed cover.
Yeah,
that'd be really nice. Because my one, I don't know if you can see. So basically, if you're on audio, I've put like a kind of shiny gel on some of the letters on the book because I kept getting mixed up which was my copy, and so I've kind of customized it with that. So there's only one that's got that kind of shiny.
Will that edition be available on sale at the National Snow Show?
So I'll be there signing the books, which is great, and I give everyone a bookmark, and so basically I can get the spelling right of their name on the bookmark, and then before I actually put pen to paper in the book, and then I write their name and a little message based on the conversation that we've had, which is kind of tailored for them and that. So I'll have the books and art prints and then greeting cards, which is all in time for Christmas.
Look at that.
Because I know it can be a bit of a sore point for a lot of people, but it's not too early to start thinking about just getting some of those gifts, getting those gifts ready to be able to have them in the bag or Santa's bag.
So you have prints, you have cards, and you also have fabric available too.
Yes. So this was something that I was working on when we spoke last time. I've been talking about developing some designs, and so I think I was at the design stage then. So I've opened up a shop on Spoonflower, which is it is actually a US based website, and they do printing of fabrics and wallpapers. So on my Inspired by Kim Spoonflower shop, I've got over 20 fabric designs. So some of them are more sort of strongly ski than others. And so basically what people can do, they can go on there, they can pick from the designs, and then they can have it on like a stretchy fabric. They could have it on upholstery fabric to say cover a chair. They could have it for curtains, a duvet cover, or you could have you could make a shirt from it. A ski themed shirt.
What about if you were, someone like Michaela Schifrin was like, I want special leggings.
Yes, absolutely. I've got a great one for that, which is these snowflakes. So basically, I've like kind of all the fabrics are quite bright, bold colors. They're meant to be really sort of fresh, and so Michaela Schifrin, get in touch. Can do some
Michaela.
Bespoke.
Yeah, we know you're pushing Range Rovers and stuff. Like, how about go back to the real, the grassroots?
Yeah. So that's another one of my favorite ones, which is it's goggle reflections creating a pattern. So there's helicopters on there and gondolas and the Matterhorn and chalets. So that's all at my a Spoonflower shop, and people can, if they don't want to sew themselves, they can order like duvet covers and ready-made curtains and things. So this is one of the newest ones that I've done, which is all like ski icons on like color blocks.
That is so cool.
But that's not on the website yet. But maybe by the time you put the podcast out, I will get that on there.
Yeah, because looking. I'm on the site, on the page on your site right now, which has the it's the press release, I guess, from April showing the fabrics and wallpaper. And is there a link on that page too to get to the Spoonflower?
Yeah, so it probably will just say Spoonflower shop. Visit my Spoonflower shop.
I clicked on the picture too. That took me there.
Everything will take you there.
Beautiful.
I've linked it all up.
I need to get we need a sweatshop connection so we could get some shirts, crank some custom, or how about a suit? Imagine being at the snow show and you got a nice, a blazer with one of these designs.
I was thinking that would be really good in a really, I know.
Like the gondola one?
That would be good in something like that, or in this one, like something really quite, I think that'd be fabulous in something quite shouty.
Yes. Oh, I got to find a guy.
Yeah. And I've got these kind that have got all characters on. So, my husband says that that's good for like a teenager's bedroom, but I just think, why should the teenagers have all the fun?
Seriously, right?
It can be everybody.
I think the small goggle pattern too, as like a button-down shirt,
That would be really slick.
That'd be really nice as like as a tie as well.
Tie,
like a necktie. But yeah, they'd be good for like buffs, and like even sort of kit bags would be good. So so I'm excited to show and share those. And I've been doing some like mock-ups of kind of how a room can look with the wallpaper, and and kind of like doing mock-ups of a chair covered in the fabrics, and so it's exciting.
This is super cool. Now, are all the images that you're using on the spoon flower for the fabrics, are those all images from the book?
Not everything. Some of them are new ones, and like because the one of the patterns, like the one the turquoise one, that's used in the book, the inside cover. So some of them I've taken elements from the book and then turned it into repeat patterns. And some of them are not in the book, and they're just kind of freshly done to create the fabrics. But I've got the copyright of all the illustrations in the book, so that's all. Everyone's happy.
Yeah. No, I'm looking at just like the ski fun one. Like I love that. And yeah, I think I mentioned to you last time, like I own a couple of ski Hawaiian shirts, and in the summertime, that's really all I wear. Like if that's my formal summer attire. It's like if I'm going to a party or going out, I have one of those three, and they're the same shirt just with different colors, and I rotate those. And I'm always looking for like cool new, like to keep me from being too depressed in the summer. I have to like bring in ski,
Yeah.
And like so this ski fun one, ski fun one would be absolutely perfect for that.
I think that would be as well, because that's one of the cards that I've got uses that, and it's they use those same characters because they're my favorite characters from the book, and that's on this card, which is it's also, I'm doing that as an art print, which is all of these favorite characters then with this, like these kind of bold geometric shapes, like fragments, that kind of idea. But yeah, I think that would be great for a shirt.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what are you going to be wearing at the Boston Expo?
Well, I'll be honest. I'm actually going to talk to our sponsors, see if they want to, I'm actually wearing one of their shirts right now, Terracia, who are our outerwear sponsors. They're some good guys, and I haven't seen them in person in like 2 years. So we're looking forward again to reconnecting to people we haven't seen in person in a long time at the show. So I'm reaching out to them first, and I actually have a couple designs that I've been working on for some sweatshirt stuff. But if if you have anything you want to send our way, any ideas, cool. Like we're totally game. Like we want to have maximum fun at this show. Like we because it changed in ownership. The one in the States, it used to be called the Boston Ski and Snowboard Expo, and the man who started it, I think it was in the 70s, sold it in like December of 2019, like the most epic timing to sell a business, an in-person business. And and we'd gone there, I think maybe 2 or 3 years before then. That was our first couple times there. And we always talked about how much fun it was, because one of our friends, he's a writer for the Boston Globe. We met him there for the first time. We did like our journalist events there for the first time. So we have all these great memories of that show. Right. And we talk about in the summertime, like that was like our beacon of hope for the ski season. It's like, it's August, it's 90 degrees, we're sweating. But in 3 months we'll be at that show. And then to have it canceled in 2020, obviously it was a bummer. And then last year they were like, well, it's probably going to happen. And then they canceled it like 2 months before, which was a bummer. The one, now your show last year, it actually did happen, right?
It did, and it was like kind of just when sort of people were starting to get used to things opening up, and like it was like the first thing that I know that I'd gone to, where I was standing in a meeting and talking to people where I didn't have a mask on, and we were inside, and so it did feel a bit strange, but it was really important because I'd literally just got a copy of my book. The first copy of my book had arrived. The publishers rushed it across so that I could have it in time for the snow show. And so I was, I'd literally just got it. And so it was really important to talk to everybody. But yeah, it did feel kind of a bit weird after such a period of being in and at home.
Yeah.
So this year I think will be more relaxed. There was meant to be a London snow show, but then that one got cancelled. So it's all then pushed into this one event. So it's going to be great. I mean, it's just brilliant to be able to talk skiing with people and have that that atmosphere and that vibe. And I'm hoping that in the future, because I know that when we used to do the ones when we were kids, they used to be like, I think, go from say Thursday to Sunday, whereas this is literally just Saturday and Sunday. So fingers crossed that it can be an even longer event next year. So
was that like a COVID thing, or was that just kind of the times have changed thing?
I don't know. I mean, I think I guess sort of I'm not sure, but I mean it's like, and also like with the ones then they used to be into the evening, whereas the one it sort of closes down I think about 5 o'clock on Saturday, which I guess it like kind of leaves opportunities for people to kind of carry on meeting up and stuff and do things in the evening. So yeah. But
did you actually present?
I hope I'll be able to.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say I hope I'll be able to watch some of your slots, and see some footage of you guys over when you're in Boston.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it will be worth worth watching. We'll see though.
I'm sure, of course, it will be.
It'll be fun either way. Either we're gonna be everyone will love us, or we'll just crash and burn the whole thing, and that'll be entertaining to watch as well, right?
I think it'll just be the first. I wouldn't even think about alternative.
Yeah. Now, did you present at all last year at the show, or did you just?
No. So I got the books, like I said, literally the day before. So I'd got a hit list of who I was going to talk to. And I went around and spoke to all the organisations that I thought the book could really help, like School Snow Sports Association, Snow Sport England, and so on, and holiday companies. And but no, I wasn't speaking. But then they've asked me. Yeah, so they've asked me to speak this year, and so it's really exciting.
That's so great. So has the reception of the book been a surprise to you?
I think when you're creating something and you've written it and illustrated it, particularly the illustrations, it's almost like it's like you sort of put part of yourself kind of literally out there. It's like, and so it like at first it felt like deeply personal, and like the more that like people say that once you've written a book, it doesn't belong to you anymore, it belongs to everyone that has a copy of the book, because it's theirs as well, and it's like it's theirs for them to interpret and read and take what they do from it, and so kind of it starts to then become something which is not, you know what I mean? Like I say, it's all those people.
It's a life of its own almost.
Yeah, and so it's interesting because it's like I've got people that are like regularly messaging me now. I've got there's someone who I consider to be a fan who's in Japan, who like everything that I do, he comments, he likes it, and then I've got another person in Canada who likes everything that I do, and it's interesting. That I think is interesting how you then start to make these new connections, across the planet, because skiing and snow sports enable that connection. And so it's kind of, I think that's been the sort of surprise. And then like the conversations like this, where we're talking about, we're kind of having a fun time chatting about skiing, whereas we wouldn't have otherwise done that. So to me, those are the things like the kind of unexpected bonuses of the book, are these connections, these experiences, and the conversations that it's prompting. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because I was thinking back too, because another connection that we have is Dan Egan, because I know he reached out to you on LinkedIn and found you, and you did the illustrations for his book, and we've talked to him on the podcast before. He's going to be in Boston, so we're going to see him in person, which is pretty cool. And again, like I never thought I would talk to Dan Egan, like that he would want to like talk to me and Mario on a podcast, but lo and behold, it's almost like you just put yourself out there and make enough of an effort and show that you care about something. And if you do it enough with enough authenticity, people do find it, which is pretty cool. And again, the doors it opens, it's almost like a video game when you're walking around and like a door just falls in front of you and you're like, well, do I open the door and see what's in there? Like, well, I'm here, I might as well open it. And then you never know what other doors just come dropping in for you to open up, and who you meet and what you experience and what you do. It's only almost limited to what you want to put out.
Yeah. And I think the thing is as well, it's like what I think I had to kind of adjust to at the beginning. I was thinking, oh, well, that's not what somebody else would do. And it's like, you know, but it's like, yeah, but that's not, this is my experience, you know, kind of, this is a book that I've created and my background is the context for this. So yeah, someone else wouldn't go and do that event there or launch something there. And I think what you kind of then sort of got to think, okay, so what is it that I bring to this? Which kind of then, and that's how it then steers it. Like you like your Hawaiian ski shirts. That's something that's that's you. And so yeah, maybe I don't know, the name comes to mind, Ted Ligety wouldn't do something in a ski Hawaiian shirt, but he's not you. You know, and I think it's so you've got to think.
He wishes he was.
I don't know why his name came to mind. But
don't be jealous, Ted. Basement, New Jersey.
But you get what I'm saying, that it's like
100%,
it's
yeah.
kind of it's come from you and it's your background, and you know, and so
and that's kind of part of the reason why we ended up doing this in the first place, is that we didn't feel like there was anyone that was representing our voices out there in the ski industry. You know, again, not that we're special or anything, but we just were, you know, we're not guys who are jumping off helicopters every week up in Alaska. You know, we're not the sponsored racers. Like, we're not those guys. We're the average guys who just love the sport, who want to be your buddies on the radio, in your headphones, when you're working out, when you're going skiing, and just share our love of sport and industry.
Mm. And there's often a beer element to it. So it might be that like there's a race where someone, you know, they don't win the race by getting down in the fastest time. They have to have the fastest time and the least spillage of, you know, their beer from doing the slalom. I don't know,
right?
You know what I mean?
There you go.
But it's something that, you know what I mean? It's like I say, it's you know, your path is going to be entirely different to someone else's path, you know. And so I think that's where the kind of beauty is in it, that it's just sort of finding those experiences which can seem a little bit random, but then you think, yeah, but that's who I am, you know.
Everything that you've done has got you to here, and everything that's good and bad has created a character. And
yeah,
what do you do with that character? Do you just kind of like put it in the corner and not address it, or do you explore the character and share it with others and see maybe there's a lot of people out there who identify and appreciate, whether it's your ups, your downs, but your authenticity, which I think in our world these days is something we lack a lot of. And
yeah, it's
also something that people draw to because it is becoming rare.
Yeah. And so it's like for example, that sounds like what I've just been talking about. It sounds very me, but I don't mean it like that, because like, for example, there's a place near where I live. I go there 2-3 times a week. It's just these really nice gardens. I go to there to decompress. And so they said, oh, we're having a craft fair. And I was thinking, this is all ski stuff. You know, and it's not really that relevant to this event, because this event is sort of, you know, kind of English country house kind of thing, and, you know, English gardens. But I thought, but it's somewhere where I feel comfortable, and so I'm going to connect with people that also like that place. And it was really interesting then I had the art prints there, I had the book, and there was, for example, there was one lady. She was probably close to 80. She'd never been near a snow slope, a ski slope, or anything to do with skiing. And she stayed on my stand for 20 minutes looking at the après ski boot artwork, the art print. And she's
really?
like, I really like it. And she was just like, I don't know why, but I just really like it. And I could tell that she just didn't know what to make of the fact.
Awesome, lady. Just buy it.
Yeah. But she just she couldn't understand why, not having had this experience, she was drawn to this artwork. And it's just those kind of sort of strange but kind of quite magical experiences where yeah, by kind of doing these things in places, you know, kind of like you're reaching people that you wouldn't otherwise have reached.
Yeah, and
if that makes sense.
100%. But did you inspire her to go skiing this year then?
I don't know. I mean, I think her husband's going, just get it if you want it. If you want it, just get it. But I just think she just couldn't understand why. That's it.
For those who aren't familiar or don't have the book in front of them, here it is. And we talked about this last time too. What an awesome picture this is. And how much is going on. So there, it's a lot going on. So you can stare at it for 20 minutes and find new things.
Yeah, that's it. There's little stories, like they say about having stories, and like there's the couple having a romantic drink, and then there's a guy that's had too many beers and he's hanging off the balcony. Hopefully he's manages to stay. But so based on that idea of this of a boot, the boot becoming the structure, I've just done this one recently, which is basically it's a walking boot, like a hiking boot, and same kind of idea where the boot becomes it's like what's what you call a conceptual illustration, where that becomes the structure and the place, and there's all these people enjoying like the kind of, here it would be the Peak District National Park. Okay. And so I'm trying to kind of think about what made that après-ski illustration so what makes it resonate with people, and then sort of thinking, okay, how can I then make that maybe kind of a bit more sort of more inclusive, by making it a hiking boot. And so I've got a flip-flop idea and cool. and a welly, what we call a Wellington boot.
That's a rain boot, right?
Yes, that's it. Yeah. So I've got some ideas that are kind of, but it's interesting how like things take a little bit of time to kind of bake, the ideas. But I'm finding I'm getting a lot better at being able to kind of start to work mentally on something and then add more details without having sort of lost that kind of mental picture. So watch this space, going to be creating some more of that kind of magic, hopefully.
Very cool. So are you looking to do more stuff outside of snow sports at this point?
I think that
whatever inspires you.
Yeah, and I think just like I say, just trying to. I kind of feel like I've been in a perpetual winter for about the last sort of 2.5 years, and it's just sort of trying to kind of think about what other experiences people, like the kind of active experiences, can kind of sort of generate the same kind of vibe. So I'm kind of a little bit trying to. I'm keen to follow the ski theme, but I'm also just trying to sort of kind of go do a bit of cold turkey.
Whatever inspires you, right?
Some other themes as well, but then the winter's coming now, and so it's going to be all snowy, and looking forward to to getting on the slopes.
Oh, for sure. I know we're all getting nice and amped up for that. What have been some of your most popular prints?
Definitely the après-ski boot. And because I've literally done just like 2 events where I've had the prints there, and I've partly done them to kind of as prep for the National Snow Show, to kind of work to, by having those in, it gives you deadlines, and so I've turned the most popular ones into these greeting cards. The hot choc hot tub is one that always makes people chuckle. And it's funny how the kids kind of say to their parents, "Oh, I would love that," and the parents look a little bit awkward. They don't really know how to react to their child telling them that they'd like to have a hot choc hot tub. So that's on pitch. If you're looking for it,
like we don't know where this hot tub is going.
Yeah. So, and then a lot of men like these skiers from above one, which is on the skis page if you're looking for that in the book. So because this one is, you've got a cross-country skier, you've got a piste skier, and then you've got the off-piste. That's it. Yes.
Yeah, that one is really cool.
Yeah, so that resonates a lot with the men. They like that. And then the other one is the group skiing, so that's on G in the book, and so a lot of people like that one as well, which is And with that one, when I was doing that, we were right in the middle of everybody wearing masks. And I thought, you know what? I thought there's going to be no masks in my book.
There you go.
And I'm glad I didn't as well, because hopefully they're a thing of majoritively for the past.
Yeah, I know. We were actually building a website, my 9-to-5 job right in 2020. And they were like, we should get more photos of people in masks. I'm like, it is going to date the look. It's going to, and maybe now it's relevant, but in 6 months of a year, it's probably it's going to trigger people. Because I think a lot of people are not going to want to see that anymore, or going to want to move on and, get to the next spot. I think, I think you made a good editorial choice. Not having them in there. And you can always put your own on, like get little stickers, put them on if you want to mask people. Play God, if you will.
So they were, and then like I said, the skiing geometrics one, which looks fabulous as a print, looks really good. So
now is that from bits and pieces? That's from parts of the illustrations.
So that one you've got the parascending skiers from the other page. She's from J for jumping. He's I think from downhill. This one is on the freestyle page under F. That one is about moving on skis, and she's in Joy on the Joy page.
I think one of the reasons, just total anecdotal, one of the reasons why I think you're having all this success is because of that joy that you just mentioned. Because you look at this book and you think about the last 2.5 years, people being locked down and fighting and angry. This book is joy. Like it's just, it's lighthearted, it's warm, it's inspiring, it's fun. It's what everything that, we kind of cherish about life and skiing is. It's like, I love that you got the one freedom. F is freedom. And it's one of the few things you get to do where you are the master of your own destiny. You're at the top of that hill. You have these pieces of wood and metal stuck to your feet. You go, what am I going to do? Do I want to just go straight down and see how fast I want to go? Like how big are my cojones? Like it really is one of these things where it's one of the few things. I mean, there's technically no speed limits. You're not going to get a ticket at most places. It's you and the mountain. It's you and gravity. And it's just that's part of the charm of the sport is that you don't really have anyone to answer to. Coach, a friend, if you really want to be you in the mountain, like that is your choice.
Yeah. And I think that as well, it's that sort of freedom from the thoughts of everyday life and work, because when you're there on the mountain, you're totally absorbed by the environment and what you're doing. You can't, I think even having skied, like a long time, you still when you're skiing, you're thinking about the skiing and just having that feeling of the snow I remember when we skied in Colorado, we did get told to slow down.
Oh, really? Where was that, at Vail?
I think it was in Breckenridge more. And we were struggling, having been kind of skiing in the Alps, and then you nip off the side and you just jump off and go through the trees. We're struggling to get the idea that we weren't allowed to go beyond that rope, and just because it's like, it's just gonna we just knew it was just gonna come back down into the same point, so why can we not just do it? And it's just like, oh no, you can't do that. It's like, what? So
I thought this was the land of the free. This is why you people why you left us.
But yeah, it was interesting. Like, it's just an interesting experience yesterday. So someone said that they were going skiing in Bulgaria, and it was this little girl that they were talking about their holiday, the family holiday, and it's going to be their first ski holiday, and that was really special about that yesterday. And I said, when I was in Bulgaria the year before last, I said, and I did a painting while I was there. And I literally picked up a copy of the book and opened it to start flicking through. And I went straight to the picture that I was wanting to show her. It literally was the first page I opened. And like, these are not books like my copy is the one that, it's like it opens at certain pages because I go to them more often. But that was just it's a total fresh, brand new copy. I opened it up, and the exact illustration that I wanted to tell her about. that I painted
cool.
in Bulgaria. I was just like, weird. And yeah, so there's some strange magic going on, I think, some of the time.
Yeah, and I love that you use the term magic, because it is. It's a magical piece of art that you created, and it's people can find their own, take what you've created and kind of tack on their own experiences, beliefs, joy to that. And that's, again, I think that's why people do resonate with it, and they want to, they want to hold the book, they see it, they want to buy it, they want to get the prints, because you look at it and you could have a lousy day, open up to the après ski boot, and just it puts a smile on your face, and you go, oh, I remember that time we were in Zermatt and there was that champagne bar that we encountered, and we sat there and we had drinks, and it was like the most magical time. And it can just snap you back like that to a happy, wonderful memory.
And I think that's the thing, because some people say, oh, well, I've skied for a long time, there's nothing that I need to know. And it's like, but it can then really kind of, there is a lot in there to prompt memories, and to spark these, these recollections of the ski time. And that's why one of the reasons why I put so much into it. It's meant to really sort of represent, all those experiences, good and, and sometimes, unfortunately, not so good, because everyone does fall sometimes, But,
part of the game. But yeah, if you look at that book and you can say that, those people are dead on the inside. You can't help them. I mean, that person is dead.
Well, that's it. Because, like not everyone is gonna like everything that you do. That's just a fact. And I think there's a freedom in accepting that and understanding that. But the people that it does resonate with, it is really interesting to see. And so and one of the people yesterday, she was saying, oh, we're going skiing. This is a different family. We're going skiing on a holiday for the first time. And, and I want the children to be ready, and we want to know about it as well. And so she said, yeah, well, she actually totally got it, that they can all get something from it, together and separately, that they'll all get something from it. And so yeah, but like I say, you can't please everybody. Some people won't get it, but it's not for them. It's for the people that it does resonate with, and they've got a little bit of that kind of, they've still kind of got a little bit of a playfulness.
Yeah. And those are words to live by for any creator. It's not for everybody. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be for everybody. Look at the movies that get the highest grossing totals, or TV shows. Look at the TV shows that the number one, you're like, I don't watch that show. I don't know anybody that watches that show, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's it. So
find your magic.
Yeah, if people like skiing and they, and they like feeling better rather than worse, then definitely have a look at the book.
Yeah, that's a sales pitch. Anything else, Kim, that you want to mention?
Just really kind of that, it's like, if people aren't able to get along to the snow show, then there's a whole host of, kind of joyful snow sports themed content on my website. It's there for people to have a look, to enjoy, to feel hopefully inspired by. And
inspirebykim.com, all one word.
Yeah, so basically the story behind that was I called it Inspire. And then I was sending my new Facebook page to friends, and they didn't seem to understand that it was me and my page that I was sending them. So I just added on by Kim after, so that people would understand. So I started then sending it around, and people were like, oh, okay, so it's yours. Okay. So, and then it just sort of, the brand sort of stuck like as Inspired by Kim, which I'm an English graduate. I know it probably, it ought to either say inspired or have a comma. Something,
it's beautiful irony, yeah. Right?
But yeah, it kind of stuck, and so inspiredbykim.com or skiatoz.com, both take you to our website, and I'm always adding new content there, and sort of plotting the journey, and because I think people can also, if for say non-skiers, they sometimes find the process interesting, and they find the kind of like the journey the steps of it interesting. And also something that's a bit of a spin-off is that because I used to do a lot of travel, well, my career was travel PR. And so I'm kind of big on promo and promoting. And so a bit of a sort of spin-off of it really is for people to be able to see ways in which I'm promoting the book and my products, and then, you know, the things that they can then apply to their products and services. So
yeah, it's a beautiful website. It's, again, very inspiring, and all of your art is top notch. And I love this book. I show it to my son too, because he's a new little skier, and I try to teach him things. And you know, it's fun, again, just to kind of thumb through it and read it. And like I said, you look at the pictures, you kind of create your own adventure and take them and run with them and attach your own experiences, joy to it. So I think it's an awesome book. Everyone should pick it up. If you are in the UK, October 15th and 16th.
Yes.
National Snow Show.
At Birmingham NEC.
Go see Kim. Go buy some of her stuff. Have a great time. Go see Eddie the Eagle Edwards.
Yes, and hopefully he is going to be there. Yes, no, the man himself. But I'm also going to record my session so that I'm going to put it on YouTube after, so people will be able to watch it and benefit from the advice and information. So
very, very cool. Kim, it is always a pleasure speaking with you. Congratulations on your success. Thank you for taking the time, and hopefully we can do this one time in person. Maybe at our own special little après spot.
That would be cool, wouldn't it? We could maybe do awesome. Like a kind of like an après ski retreat somewhere.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes, I'll let that idea develop.
Perfect. Kim, thank you again so much. Inspiredbykim.com. Check her out. Follow her on all the socials, and you will not be disappointed.
Thanks, you. Kim. Great talking.
You as well.
Hope you enjoyed that conversation. You want more information, you want links, everything we talked about, you can check it out at skibumpodcast.com. That wraps up the show for the week. Thank you so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Check us out, skibumpodcast.com. Go visit us on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Untapped, YouTube at Ski Bum Podcast. Go to your favorite podcasting apps, rate and subscribe. Send us an email, skibumpodcast@gmail.com. Whew, lots of stuff happening. Boom. Big stuff, fun stuff. So
Snow Show in Skibound.
Snowbound Expo.
Boston. Be there. We'll be there.
November.
Reach out to us.
Tell 18th through 20th.
Just reach out. We'll be there.
Indeed. That wraps up the podcast for the week. Talk to you guys next week.
Stay for Luton.
See ya.